I don't know, but I think Japanese and Koreans will be extinct in the next 40 years.
40 years? Oh man, that's quick.
Looks like Japan is in trouble again.
Fukushima times 2.
No, it's not like that. But again, have you guys figured out this whole birth rate thing? Do you know what you're gonna do about that? Are you helping?
I don't know, but I think Japanese and Koreans will be extinct in the next 40 years.
40 years? Oh man, that's quick.
There's another thing going on over there that I don't know if it hurts or helps, but you tell me, because you're an expert. They got this thing called friendship marriages.
What's that?
On the rise.
Sounds pretty interesting. It's like, yo, I don't want anybody, you don't want anybody, but then we're cool, so let's just fucking have a kid.
Yeah. So I guess it's a hot craze among young Japanese people. It's a union that doesn't involve sex or romance.
Wait, what?
But they get married to each other and they're allowed to date other people. But it comes with the benefits of the tax breaks, the companionship, and the social acceptance from the outside that they got married.
So it's a gay man's beard.
Kinda, yeah.
Correct.
And with marriage rates declining in Japan, a lot of the young adults, like you said, are feeling like disillusioned with societal expectations. So now there's companies that are starting to administer these things. There's a company called Humorous, which is the first agency that facilitates friendship marriages specifically. And since 2015, they've done about 500 of them.
And they don't plan on having kids or nothing?
Some of them do. Some of them actually end up having
Isn't it
kids.
just regular marriage?
Yeah, but
that just sounds like an arranged marriage to me.
Yeah, but then it's like intended between the two of them that they're just friends.
Oh, wow.
And they're just doing
They're still dating other people.
Oh, for legal purposes.
Yeah, but legal purposes, isn't it the same?
Relationships just last longer than real romantic relationships.
They honestly might, yeah.
Makes sense because they don't have to be tied.
But do you think this is a good thing or a bad thing for the problem that they have?
It doesn't change anything, right?
If they're not fucking,
I don't know.
What's the point?
well, maybe it encourages them to fuck a little bit. Maybe puts a little, same brain.
Puts them in the same house.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're just friends, blah 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 blah, and then over time they.
It's a rom-com.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This would be an issue in the Western world as well, but we allow a lot of immigration. So that's what.
Do you think that's a big source of why their birth rate's low?
What do you mean?
Like
all over the world?
lack of immigration?
Yeah, it's a population issue, and well, the birth rate, like in the Western world, is already like, if they didn't allow any immigration, it would be similar to Japan and Korea. I mean, look at what's happening to Italy. So,
What's happening to Italy?
same thing, birth.
There's no more Italians in like 4 years.
Birth.
Good.
Well, because like think about the the boomers. We all have relatives that are like they had like 10 siblings, right? Yeah. And then to replace them, we need to have like 3 kids each couple. But the amount of kids that people are having in the States are like 1 or 2.
1 or 2, yeah.
Because it's expensive.
Yeah, and I think that's the actual reason.
Isn't it like $1 million to raise a kid all the way up?
Fucking, I don't know, probably.
Who knows? What up?
Good luck, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Just so fucked.
Just raise them halfway.
Have another one.
Well, like Japan and Korea, they're having like 1 kid, if anything.
That's nothing.
Both my parents, my dad's side, I think he had 14 siblings.
Whoa.
Damn, dude.
That's a lot.
Yay.
Because they could afford it, I think, right? Or they couldn't.
What was the motivation when they tell you like why did they have that many kids?
I don't think they used condoms, and I think it was normal to just fuck a lot and have a lot of kids.
Well, because back then, in their generation, they probably weren't even thinking about overpopulation or like the fucking.
It was normal.
Think about getting that nut in.
Yeah, they're thinking about their generation.
Think about cream pies.
You know what
Jitsukawa?
my aunt told me? So she grew up here in Fresno, California, and then she said that it was because of child mortality was high.
Still?
Well, that was like, well, she's passed now.
It's like when people die in dysentery and shit like that.
But
It's a
she
numbers
grew
game.
up in like the 1930s, 40s, something like that.
Oh, wow.
So she said as a kid, because she went to, what do you call it? Like during the internment camp stuff, she went to the Midwest.
Yeah.
But she was like, a lot of people had hella kids because once they're like let's say you only have 2 and then they both pass. That's it.
Your last name's gone.
generation wise.
Not me, bitch.
So they're
Well, that
really
seems
playing an
common.
odds game.
I think that was normal for most of humanity.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's an odds game.
But it's changed now. But why do you think that is? How come people?
Because it's too comfortable.
Too expensive.
Too expensive now, and
And then people are having kids later. And
way
then
later.
Our
yeah.
childhood is being prolonged later. Like think about, you know, your great grandparents' generation. They started working as soon as they could start breathing.
It's true.
There was no child labor laws. People just start fucking working.
Well, plus people nowadays, I think they're watching TikTok videos where it's like, I don't have kids, so I can do all this. cool
Right.
shit.
So I think that's that too, and a lot of people are turning either male to girl, girl to male. So it's just
Like, how are you gonna have kids?
It's a trans issue.
it's a transition issue, and then now it's just like, yo, what the fuck? How you gonna chop it off? Why would you chop it off? You can't even produce anymore. You can't. There's no generation anymore. After you, you're dead.
Maybe they don't care about it.
Yeah, some people.
Because there's already too many. There's too many people.
I also think there's no social pressure anymore. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's so true.
That's
because like
100%.
think about
yeah.
everyone used to go to like a religious thing every week, whether it's church or whatever, right? And then you had community that kind of kept you in check to stay married.
Right.
Now you don't even have to be married. It's fine.
yeah.
But the problem is, if that continues on that trajectory, then you have we zoom up the.
Well, everyone's not thinking about big picture. They're thinking about individuality. And they're like, I don't want to fucking do that work.
I don't want to deal with it.
But is that a problem mainly in major cities? Like, is that?
I think it's a
Cali,
major
New York
city.
problem, but the Bible Belt's still cranking kids out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Wherever it's affordable.
I think birth rates are down everywhere, aren't they?
even in
Generally,
like fundamentally Christian Midwest households.
Well, like, you know, the Amish or those guys are growing. Mormons.
Taking over.
To like, in your face.
Yeah, societal pressure. I think you're right.
Well, they're saying that in America, the people that are keeping the white population in the growth are those groups. Because I actually like had this talk with Hannah, and we think it's
whites.
White.
the come up. I think it's a religious community thing.
Yeah.
Because all the secular nations, like, they're not staying married. They're not, you know, like, think about all the major cities. You don't get married. You cohabit. You know, you cohabitat each other's. You know, you don't fucking have kids.
Let's say that Prime Minister of Japan had a meeting with you and said, Joe Jitsukawa, what should I do about this problem in Japan?
Retire all the dinosaurs that are making decisions.
Interesting.
Because you know how they say here, it's like we have like all these senators and shit that are like about to die. It's the same shit over there, but they live longer,
So they're just out of touch with what's
The blue zones, man.
bro. And then the hierarchy is way different. So like here, you can debate with an 80-year-old, right? And then you're all in the same. You're all in the same fighting ground. Out there,
You can't even talk to them, huh?
nah.
Okay, let's say that they do that and they replace it with you. You're in charge.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'd first look at. I think one is the hope, right? So how do you get people to want to do it? Because like
Tease them a little.
Yeah.
Friendship marriage.
Hand on a
the
thigh.
thing is, like, people are all fucking. They're not cream pieing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And they don't want kids. So like, it's like, I think Korea's going through the same issue. Is the working conditions are tough, and then so both genders are like, why do I want more responsibility? They're not thinking about, oh, it looks fun to have kids.
Yeah.
Also, most of them probably grew up in situations where mom and dad are never home. Because like the system out there is like, let's say you go to school and then afterwards you go to like prep school. So you're not home until like dinner, and they don't eat dinner together, right? And then like dad's always at work, and if he's not working, you know, and then like if there's dual income, like let's say both mom and dad are at work, there's no family environment. So I think people that grew up in successful family environments, they want that for themselves. But if you grew up and you don't even know your own family,
Then you don't even know
and
you
you
want
just
that.
know
Yeah.
nothing but work, then you're just gonna want to be an independent worker. And I think that's the issue with Japan and Korea, is everyone's always studying or working, and they're not enjoying.
Yeah.
I think Okinawa is a little bit better than mainland Japan, because they're a blue zone. They have the most centennials in a concentrated space, but they have a more balanced like lifestyle where they're like, they have community, they're playing, they're enjoying, they're working. but they don't work like Japanese people.
You know how there's almost like a gatekeeping weird thing with Japan? How like they don't accept you because you're not Japanese? Does that play a role in why integration and birth rates could be going down too?
Yeah, I think it's a hard system.
Because they're pretty hardcore about that.
Because even the young generation don't want to do it. Like what I mean by that is so there's two ways to make money out there. One is like under an apprenticeship, and then the other one's like going to school, right? So like if you're an apprentice, it's like old school Renaissance Europe, where you're like a sushi apprentice
making katanas
for like 20 years, and then finally you can start.
Oh, yeah.
It moves fucking slow
as fuck, yeah.
So then it's like the way that they specialize is like they work and grind so hard that I don't think people want to do it for like let's say there was this tofu maker, right? He goes, no one's gonna take over my job because I gotta wake up at 3 a.m, do all this, and then I make 30 grand a year. But he makes like the best tofu. And then so there's a lot of specialized family skills that are just like a blacksmith that's been doing it for like 10 generations. The kids don't want to do it.
Because
just
there's
like,
so much other shit they could do.
Yeah, so everyone's moving to the city, and then they get a corporate gig, or they get an online digital gig.
Yeah,
or
they can be a
whatever.
blacksmith influencer.
I mean,
They don't want to do it.
isn't that kind of like here too? Like everybody just wants to be an influencer, do social media. They want a job in like the digital space. Like nobody actually wants to do like hard labor here anymore.
Yeah, but we have different labor laws, like, and then different labor culture. Like we have work-life balance, or like there's different. America's more like you have a lot of options
Because of the law.
and culture.
Yeah.
So over there, like let's say you get a 10-day vacation, no one uses it. Everyone uses
Is
7.
it shameful to use it?
Yeah, no one wants to be that person.
So it's societal. Okay.
Can you cash it out? Can you cash it out instead?
No.
What would work?
So another thing too is like let's say you have let's say you have a 9 to 5, right? And then if your boss is still working, then you just stay overtime to help him out.
You just stay when he's working.
You don't leave when you're done. Then let's say the boss is like, fuck man, it's like 8 o'clock, let's go to dinner. You don't say no. So the whole team, we're all going to dinner, and then he wants to drink, everyone drinks. And then so you'll drink till like 2 a.m, and then you go back to the office, you crash at the office, and then you wake up again at 8 and you do it again. So some people don't go home to see their families.
Yeah.
So if both genders are doing this, they're like, how the fuck am I gonna have kids? So it's just a fucked up.
It's just unsustainable habits.
There's no room for that.
No, and then at least here, there's like, hey man, I'm done with my shift, I'm gonna go home. There's a little bit of personal freedom, and then no one's gonna look at you like, hey, what the fuck, dude? We're still working.
It's more transaction, less relationship.
Right, right.
That makes sense.
But over there, it's like, and then over here, it's like, hey, I'm gonna jump different companies to like sharpen my skills, and then companies like that, they'll be like, oh, you have a lot of experience. You were at Apple, and now you're at Google.
Right.
Hey, let's take what you learned and bring it here. Over there, they're like, you are a disloyal shit. I'm not gonna hire you. You're gonna just take all my company secrets and go give it to your next business.
Or over here, it's like, hey, you failed at that company pretty bad. You want a promotion over here?
No, yeah, failing upwards.
Hook you up.
But over there, it's like you're a lifer. You're a Toyota lifer.
Yeah.
So like, let's
You're
say
a
you grew
Toshiba
up
stan.
No, literally, and then your kid is gonna work at Toyota, and then it's like you're like a property of the company.
You kind of feel trapped. That's probably why they're like, these are the effects of it now.
What incentive would you give in order to get some cream pies going?
Yeah.
Dude, I think it's not necessarily a government or financial issue. I think they have a cultural issue. I think it's a social.
So they brought it on themselves.
I think Korea and Japanese very similar in a way where like war-torn countries that progressed and caught up really fucking quick. So they have that like workaholic survivor fear mentality. So they gave up a lot of leisure and culture to catch up. So then now you have this like fucked up workaholic mentality where all they care about is just money and survival.
even though the next generation didn't have that history of like war-torn mentality,
So then you have that PTSD war-torn mentality that's like we have to rebuild.
which used to be the drive.
And then you have their kids that are like, I don't want to fucking do what you
Like
did.
why? Yeah.
I didn't grow up with a childhood with a family and anything. You just are workaholics. I don't have a connection with my family.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would I want a family? It's just a burden, right?
That's funny. That's kind of.
This video is me and Ryan trying to get Joe to talk about how they should just nut in each other more.
Yeah.
And Joe keeps on giving actual real answers.
Yeah, dude.
Stop being legit helpful, man. I'm just-
Productive, good answers. I
wanna talk about comedy.
Let's go back to comedy. All right, so let's go back to comedy. All right, how do you get them?
pull it out illegal.
All right.
Play Luther Vandross over the national intercom.
Yeah, it's gotta be the music. If you want to change the culture, you change.
Dance with my father again. The wrong song. People are like, that's not his.
If Japan wasn't racist, what they need to do is grab all of the weebs of every
nation, yeah.
and say, come to Japan. Come into Japan.
Come into, leave your
Oh,
cum.
love that.
Leave your cum at the door.
They would
Bust a nut.
They would do it. But Japan's too racist.
I feel like that is a big thing.
This might sound extreme to some people. Make every woman in the country wear Sailor Moon costumes.
No, that's not extreme.
Easy fix.
Hold on, I think I got it.
They'll fix this thing in like fucking 7 years.
Sailor Jupiter.
Or that. But you'll fix it in 7 years. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, and then call them Sailor Poons.
Oh shit.
That's inappropriate.
I think Japan needs to get rid of that tattoo law.
Just so you can go to the hot springs.
So everybody can get tattoos, and when you get tattoos, they say you're more attractive.
I don't think it's illegal. I think it's just
No, not
company
necessarily-
policy.
But like, just like in general, get rid of that, so people are more free to
Yeah,
get.
but what if
tattoos.
everybody did it?
Then it's not sexy no more.
Then everyone's sexy. Then everyone fucks. Then everyone gets babies.
Yeah.
You think a Japanese girl with tattoos is hot?
Huh?
That's the question. That's the prompt.
I think tattoos in general
Great.
can be hot. It just depends on where.
Yeah.
And what kind of
No,
tattoo?
like automatically though.
You think all
No.
tattoos are hot,
Hell
no matter
no.
what's on their skin?
I don't know.
People like my
Sometimes,
tattoo.
Like octopus
goes-
that's coming out of the asshole?
Yeah.
Oh.
You think that's hot?
If a tattoo goes up here, I'm not into it. Because it looks from afar like she's got like beard or something.